What do you do when you're desperate to move but you just can't sell your house? It's been on the market for months and all the viewings have dried up. Well, what you do is you stop selling and start swapping. House swapping is the latest trend to hit the property world. With around 10,000 properties registered with swap websites, it's a brilliant way to avoid the dreaded property chain and to make that move onwards. We'll be meeting people who want to swap their home permanently. What about location?
Southwest of England is fine.
Yes, the southwest of England. Anywhere. And we'll show them 3 properties to find their perfect match.
Hello.
Welcome to our house.
Come with us and we'll show you around.
I hope you like it as much as we do. Cheers, Dad, bye.
After a day spent road testing each other's properties and lifestyles, we'll bring them to the negotiating table where our straight-talking negotiator, Sunita, will help them thrash out a deal.
I need to go for 100,000 spread.
That's more than the original spread.
Before we find out if they swap homes for good. Hello and welcome. Today I'm in Cheltenham in Gloucester, and I'm sure you're all aware it's a beautiful Regency spa town, so I don't need to tell you about that. So I'm going to tell you some quirky facts about Cheltenham. Like, did you know it is home to the National Croquet Association? No, you didn't. And this is a bit weird. Did you know that one of the Roman gods on top of the pump house is holding a baseball bat for reasons slightly unknown? And you don't yet know who is wanting to swap their home today, but that I can tell you about. Single mum Gaynor and her son George have lived in their modern 4-bedroom house near Cheltenham for the last 6 years. But with George away studying media at Cardiff University, Gaynor is finding the house a bit empty and wants to swap their large family home for a smaller haven where she can make a fresh start. Now, this show isn't called House Swap for any old reason, because here is a house that's up for a swap. Here is a key that'll open the door, and here is a boy who's about to tour the house. Now, do feel free to tag along because I know that you like a good nose. Come on. Right, over the threshold and through the door, but I'm getting a sudden whiff of buttercream, tangy orange and carrot. This way. I can smell a cake from 40 paces, my goodness me, but I've also got a nose for potential. And let's be honest about it, this kitchen could really benefit from some rejuvenation. But it's a purpose-built kitchen, fit for form, just like this cake. Oh, look, next room. There's a rather retro downstairs toilet and a very useful office space. Aha, well friends, it would seem that we've arrived in the lounge. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at me and you're thinking, what a huge clock. And you'd be right. It is completely dominating the space, so much so that you barely notice the great big comfy looking sofas at that end. At this end, we have a dining space with 2 doors that you can fling open. And it reminds me of the kind of scene where I'd be throwing a dinner party for me and all my friends. Yes, that's right. Just the one chair. Okay, upstairs we have a family bathroom, all in white. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We also have a number of good-sized family bedrooms, and we also have a master bedroom. Now, heading this way, we have one more good-sized bedroom, and judging by the curious way things have been stored, I'm assuming this is George's bedroom. You see, the youth of today in their fashionable ways, they think they are so far ahead of us, but I think I can still pull it off, don't you? And pull it off at great speed, I will. Shall we? Outside is a good-sized garden and a detached garage, which is a great place to store your, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Kristian, please stop making that racket. But you see, I don't want to because I've just got the handle to do and then I'm done. Gaynor's 4-bedroom detached house near Cheltenham has been valued at £350,000. OK, so what are the reasons for moving?
Well, George has gone on to university in Cardiff, and Lawrence, his younger brother, sadly died in September.
OK.
So I'm now sort of on my own in a house that's too big, really.
You're rattling around like a marble in a shoebox.
I am.
So it's kind of a fresh start.
It is,
and downsizing.
Yeah.
OK. So the question is, what is it you would be wanting next?
2 or 3 beds. Character would be lovely. A fireplace would be great.
A fireplace.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
No DIY,
Fair enough.
preferably.
George, how would you describe your mum's taste?
Well, I'm the opposite. I don't really like character. I like modern looks, but that's going to be my mum's house, so...
So you like minimal.
Yeah, yeah.
Your bedroom doesn't say minimal
Yeah,
to me.
exactly,
I'm being
yeah.
honest with you here, George. It doesn't say minimal to me. What about location?
Southwest of England is fine. 'cause
Just
I work
the southwest of England.
anywhere, yeah.
Financially, what is this worth, and how much are you looking to swap for?
This is worth 350.
Right.
And I'm looking for anything between 150 and 350. I don't mind.
All righty. Why don't we go inside, a cup of tea,
Lovely.
and look at some films about some properties?
Thank you.
Let's do it. Now, George and Genia, this is the exciting bit. This is the bit I love most because we get to snoop around a number of properties. First of all, where are we going? We are going, let's see if you know this place, Hardwick in Gloucester.
Yeah, cool. Okay with that?
You're OK with that?
Yeah.
OK, so let me introduce you to Amanda and Jason, who are going to show us around their property. And they're going to speak a little bit like this.
Hi, we're the Wades.
Welcome to our home in Hardwick, Gloucestershire.
Come with us and we'll show you around.
The original house was built in 1897, so the house in itself is over 100 years old. The extension parts were built about 20 years plus.
You come straight through the front door. The room's very inviting. You can sit your guests straight down at the table. It's the hub of the house and where we eat all our evening meals.
I cook, Jason clears.
I fetch. I fetch and do all the washing up and so on.
This is our lounge.
We decided to splash out on the fireplace to give the house a bit of the original feel.
It makes it feel inviting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Cosy.
Yeah. We've got 2 kids, and these rooms, both identical this side, which are both over the original cottage.
This is their shared bathroom, and the nice thing is they put the original beams in to complement the old part of the cottage. Okay, so this is my domain. This is where everything happens. This is a utility, and this is the beginning of the new side of the house. So you've got the old part of the house that side, and you've got the new side of the house this side.
This is a second entrance to the house. This was a recently converted double garage.
And it leads into another room where I'm not allowed.
This is where I play my guitars and use it to work from. Above the garage conversion is the master bedroom.
Great views out the back, all weathers, and peace and quiet for us. This is our outdoor entertaining area. We're in Hardwick Village, which is based in Gloucestershire.
We've got the best of both worlds, really. You're not too far away from town, but you're far enough away for it to be quiet. It's a good area to live.
Our house is marketed at 270,000.
The Wade's Gloucester home is a detached 3-bedroom Victorian cottage with garage conversion. So what would they like to swap to?
We're looking to swap our home with a property of similar value. It's similar to what we got at the moment, but it's all about outside space.
Right. For me, the most exciting thing about this is, of course, the separate annex, which
Yes.
I've already in my head housed George in.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be
we up
ideal.
for that idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was
would
quite
be.
cool.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But what do you think about the home?
Lovely. Like it. I like the views. Like the character property. I like the fireplace, which is one of the things that's really important
Yes,
to me.
hang on.
That's
Box
another
tick. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, really like it.
Okay, but am I sensing there's a but coming?
The only but is that I do like the Cheltenham side rather than the Gloucester side of the county, that's all.
Okay.
But Hardwick is a lovely place, so yeah.
Would that stop you from considering a property there?
No.
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 All right, now we are travelling to a house that is in Gloucestershire, halfway between Cheltenham and Cardiff. So we're excited about that, hopefully.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
And we're going to meet Caroline and Claire, and we're about to see the most genteel and delicate house tour I have ever seen. So we'll be very quiet for this one.
Okay.
Hello. I'm Claire and this is my Aunt Caroline and we live in Westbridge.
And today we're going to show you around our converted railway cottage. Hello, and this is the kitchen. The kitchen was recently put in about 18 months ago and is the heart of the house. At the moment we've got the table and chairs in here, but occasionally we do swap it into the other room if we've got extra guests. It's a really lovely cosy room to sit in. This is the family sitting room, which everybody can come and enjoy, especially Ralph. But unfortunately we do keep him out of the next room. This is our sanctuary, this is my sitting room, which you've got a working wood burner in, and all the original exposed stone walling that we had exposed when we moved in. The light fittings and chandeliers came when we were on a visit to France, and instead of bringing wine back, I brought back chandeliers. We just sit on the sofa, Claire and I, together.
No.
Oh, no, my baby.
Welcome to my room. I spend a lot of time in my bedroom because I like the colours and it took me a long time to get my wallpaper, which I'm so proud of when I get my colour scheme, which all matches. Even the paint on the wall is the same colour as my wallpaper.
Okay, and down the corridor we have my bedroom and the family bathroom, which is a nice little private sanctuary away from the rest of the house. And along the hallway, we've got the lovely original beams. Hello, Ralph, do you want to show us the garden? The garden's lovely and big with a nice patio area to the side. We've got the beautiful Forest of Dean directly behind us, which in springtime you see the bluebells. Ralph, don't eat my plants. Rusbridge is a lovely place to live. It's lovely and quiet, but you've got lots of outdoor activities on your doorstep.
There's lots of cycle trails, lots of places to go for a walk.
If you go out on the one road, you go out towards Chepstow, Cardiff and Bristol, and then in the other direction you go into Gloucester and Cheltenham, so you're quite central. The house is currently on the market and been valued at £275,000.
Caroline's house is a 4-bed period property on the edge of the Forest of Dean in Gloucestershire. So what does she want for her swap?
I just felt it was time for a move and a change. My son's due to go to university in September, and we just felt like a new project. Location-wise, it would be nicer to be a little bit more centrally located, within easy reach of some nice shops and places to eat and go out and see friends.
Thank you for coming around our house today. I hope you enjoyed it.
And we hope to see you if you decide to do a house swap with us. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, bless them. Right, so what did we think of that?
Good location, lovely kitchen, absolutely brilliant. All the rooms that we could want.
But I was just thinking, because the last house had a smaller garden, and then this one's got a bigger garden, I'm just wondering.
I know what's going on. George likes the first house because there's a separate wing for him.
Yeah.
He can be private, he can have his independence, have his own, almost his own house attached to the house. Here, he hasn't got that option.
Yeah.
But here's a positive for you, George, I'm throwing it at you. When you're at university, your mum is going to be closer. So you can go to the student union, she'll be there, drinking up the pound beers. How's that for a... That's not a great...
Not good.
No? Stop now. Stop now. I thought it was a great idea.
But yeah, in terms of being accessible to Cardiff, brilliant.
OK, now we're going to Oxfordshire, near Banbury. You weren't expecting that, were you?
No.
You weren't expecting that. So I want you to meet now Rochelle and her son Neville. Take it away.
Welcome to our 3-bedroom bungalow. This is my son Neville, and we live here together.
Come on in, we'll show you around.
This is our lounge. We spend a lot of time here. It's very nice and bright. We've got several windows and the sun streams in here. In the morning it comes that way, in the afternoon here, and during the day it comes for this. We have a wonderful fireplace. We hardly ever use it because nobody wants to clean it, but we have used it and it works like a charm. This is our dining room, and then we have a free flow to the kitchen. This kitchen's very compact, so it works very well. I love my garden. At the moment, I've got a euphorbia here. That's my favorite thing. I cannot grow this in South Africa, no way. But here, it is one big joy. Love it to bits. This was all lawn. There's nothing here when we first came. I've dug it all up and manured it and did everything that's possible. And in the summer, this will be one big joy.
Okay, I'll take us through the bedrooms. Obviously, this house is a bungalow, and that's good for people who don't want to climb stairs. And you know, there's the bathroom, and then a separate toilet.
I'd like to take you to my bedroom. This is the pièce de résistance of the house. It's a small room, but as you can see, it takes a bed.
This is my bedroom, so yeah, it's a full double bedroom. Oh no, this is just a guest bedroom. It's just a spare room with an ensuite shower, ensuite toilet.
This village has a very old church. The pub is very popular. It's homemade food and a shop with post office.
Well, the house was valued a year ago at about $285,000.
Rochelle and Neville's property is a 3-bedroom bungalow in a pretty village location near Banbury. So what's their ideal swap?
I find the village life a bit small. We'd like to move to a larger metropolitan area. Something like Cheltenham or Gloucester is fine. I prefer a house, but it doesn't really matter, and something I can put my stamp on. Well, this has been our home for the last 4 years. I hope you like it as much as we do. Cheers, that, bye.
Bye.
There we go. So, what do we think? Judging silence and the word
Okay, no character. Personally speaking, there's no character. Somehow I like going upstairs to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't got the modern touch to it, which I was looking at.
Yeah.
You said you wanted modern. That's modern.
Oh, inside.
Don't back out on me now, George. You said you wanted a modern home. That is as modern.
Yeah, but inside it looks
as modern.
Looks a bit 80s inside.
There's nothing wrong with 80s. Check out my wardrobe. OK, if you totally know that the style of the house and the location is not right, then I think we terminate this conversation now.
I think so.
Terminated?
Yeah.
It's terminated. Right, therefore, we've seen the 3 properties. A decision needs to be made about which one you would like to see in the flesh. I'm not going to sit here and be privy to this very intimate conversation. I'm going to disappear. I'm going to take the cup of tea and give you a little while to think about it. Now, do you know, I'm not actually that disappointed they didn't like the final property because they liked the other 2 oh so much. But if I'm honest with you, and I will be, I think Gaynor is going to go for the old railway cottage because she made all the right noises. I may be wrong. I mean, maybe George will convince her about the house with the annex, but as far as I'm concerned, this is a done deal.
I really liked the layout of the lounge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whilst Gaynor decides which property could be her perfect new abode, Sunita, our house swap negotiator, has some advice. Sunita's been a property negotiator for over 10 years, helping hundreds of clients move onwards and upwards.
If you want to move house quickly, then house swapping could be the answer. Now, there are several websites out there that could help you find your perfect match. You will, of course, still have to have a HIPS report and you will be paying stamp duty. But, crucially, you get to avoid a chain, and if you're not on with an estate agent, you avoid estate agent fees.
Sunita's invaluable knowledge will help our swappers negotiate a deal. But first we need to find out who Gaynor has decided to swap with. Alrighty then, so, what's the decision?
I think we're both going to go for number 3.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because that's just being cruel. Can I tell you which one I think you're going to go for?
Okay.
I think you're going to go for the second one, the railway cottage.
Yeah.
See, I was right. So, George, you didn't win the annex?
Yeah, no.
Did you fight it out?
No, I didn't, because it's going to be Mum's place, so...
OK.
Well, best for whatever's best for her, really.
Fair
I'm going to
enough.
be there most of the time.
Alrighty, well, I'm hoping that when you go and see it in the flesh, that it still impresses you, and fingers crossed, it's the fresh start you're after.
Thank you very much.
Still to come, Caroline has some smashing plans for the Cheltenham house.
I wonder if you could knock that wall through.
And George turns Tarzan in the Forest of Dean.
Oh, no.
But faced with the finances, will the deal crash and burn?
They feel that to have a happy house swap, you paying Gaynor and George £100,000.
Yeah, that's quite a shock.
It's time to swap homes for the day. Gaynor and George are off to the pretty railway cottage in the picturesque Forest of Dean. Whilst Caroline and Claire and Ralph the dog head to the quiet cul-de-sac on the outskirts of Cheltenham. Our two single mums have the chance to exchange lifestyles for the day before they decide if a permanent swap is on the cards. Caroline and Claire want to move closer to Cheltenham to be in easy reach of its shops and restaurants and to be nearer to their friends.
Our new home.
But how will they find suburban living?
Should we go and start in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a bit spooky.
Why?
Well, when we bought our last house, the wallpaper was very similar and done in that same kind of way.
I wouldn't call it spooky, Caroline. I'd call it fate. 25 miles away, Gaynor and George are arriving at the railway cottage. Closer to Cardiff University and traditional in style, the cottage ticks a lot of boxes. But could it be the haven Gaynor is looking for?
OK. Oh, my goodness. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. It's so what I want.
Yeah, what, the fireplace?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm loving the walls as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the Cheltenham suburbs, Caroline and Claire are checking out the rest of the downstairs.
This must be the study. Or actually, you could even have it as like a little music room. So you could have a little sofa. And...
Be a good idea. Still have a desk in it, though.
Oh, yeah. I do expect homework to be done.
Don't worry, Claire, my mother was a tyrant too. Now, what about the other member of the family?
It's quite bright and light in here, Mum.
Lovely view of the garden, isn't it? Through.
Be able to watch
Throughout.
Ralph running around.
Yeah.
I think we should let the dog out.
Yeah. You're going to try the garden out, Ralph? Just what I've always wanted, patio doors.
Oh.
There we go, Ralph. Ralph seems to enjoy the garden, doesn't he?
Looks like he's having fun.
So it's a happy tale in the Cheltenham backyard, but what will Gaynor make of the garden at the railway cottage?
Wow. That is just gorgeous. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's amazing.
I like that you're not backing onto like any houses or like another road or anything.
Yeah, that's true. It's just lovely.
It's quite cut off as well, which is good.
Yeah.
It's quite big, the garden. I don't know if it's a bit too big though.
Too big for me?
Maybe, possibly, but looks good though.
Well, you can mow it.
You walked into that one, George. On the other side of the county, Caroline and Claire are heading to the first floor.
Let's go see where our rooms could be. Oh, look. I think this would be my bedroom.
This is nice.
Yeah.
They're all quite light rooms.
Yeah, it's
Aren't they?
nice.
Bright.
Yeah.
Right. Ensuite.
Nice little ensuite. Yeah. Oh, Whisper Peach. I used to work for a builder's merchant, so selling peach bathroom suites. So I think we would have to have a trip to the builder's merchant to get a nice white suite.
Bye-bye, Whisper Peach. Over in the Forest of Dean, Gaynor and George are also snooping around the upstairs.
Oh my goodness. Yep. I could do with this. Yeah, I can cope with this. So you'd have one of the rooms and then we'd have 2 spare.
Yeah.
And gorgeous view. Absolutely brilliant.
What can you think?
Right, houses.
There's a nice tree in the garden. You like trees?
Seems strange seeing so many houses all around the place.
I think cul-de-sac living is a bit of a shock for country girl Caroline.
Raffy.
So which room would you choose to be your room then?
That one over there? The blue room?
No, that's the master bedroom.
Yeah, I know.
As in Mum's bedroom.
No, I don't think so, Mum.
Whilst mother and daughter fight about the rooms, mother and son are taking a break in the kitchen.
Definitely like this. Definitely. This is just beautiful. So this is where Rolf sleeps, presumably. We could get a Rolf.
Yeah, we could.
We could.
Spending quality time in the railway cottage has given Gaynor an opportunity to speculate what Caroline might be like.
I've been a single mum for a long time and brought up 2 kids. And it looks like she's very much like me, I suppose. To have a lot in common, I think. That's the unfortunate thing, because she's looking around ours thinking, oh my God, what a tip. The kitchen is nowhere near like this,
But
which is a real issue. But they could change
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Funny you should mention that.
Oh, I wonder if you could knock that wall through.
You're about knocking walls down, aren't you?
Yeah. See if it was a wall that could be knocked through, and then you could make it more open plan. Yeah, that would come down. I do enjoy a project.
Before Caroline gets out her sledgehammer, it's time for our swappers to head out and explore the local area. And just a short walk from the Cheltenham cul-de-sac, there's everything you could need. If you've got a wet nose and a waggy tail, that is.
Oh, look, somewhere for Ralph to pick up his treats.
You could even go to the
He could go for a grooming parlour and have his nails done. Oh, look, and there's a vet. Ralph, look, there's the pet food shop.
And the perfect chance to pick up some tips on the local area.
So are there any sort of obedience classes or anything
Yes,
around?
there's one in the next village that does
Oh,
very,
is it?
very well. She's
Oh,
a very,
right.
very popular lady.
Oh, that's something we could do with, as you can see.
It's a really good, thriving community. It's a lovely village.
Yeah.
And everybody's very helpful and caring of each other,
Yeah.
genuinely. It's a very nice place.
Sounds very nice, doesn't it? So we've got it all on our doorstep for Ralph.
Yeah.
So we've just got to find something for you.
It is huge.
In the Forest of Dean, Gaynor and George are exploring a unique sculpture trail.
That looks absolutely surreal.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's beautiful.
But it's all a bit too sedate for George, who has something a little more active in mind.
So you're really going to go on the wire?
Yeah.
Okay. Rather you than me.
Thank you.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done indeed.
So scary.
Country girls Caroline and Claire want to enjoy a city lifestyle. And with striking architecture, stylish shops and a cosmopolitan vibe, Cheltenham certainly fits the bill. But you don't pull out the credit card without testing the merchandise. So with an all-important dress to find for Claire's school prom, it's time to test drive those shops.
How would you feel about being nearer to this shop? You think it would cost me a lot of money? Yeah, perhaps we ought to stay well away from anywhere with shops. Oh, beautiful.
I know that's flawless, absolutely flawless, like perfection.
Oh, you look like a princess.
absolutely flawless.
But before Cinderella heads to the ball, there's an important decision to be made. Our families have tested out each other's homes and lifestyles, but is a permanent swap on the cards.
Although the decor in this house isn't really to our taste, we could...
You just have to paint the colour scheme.
Yeah, but it would be easy to just change. It would be an enjoyable project for us to take on.
Could you see yourself here?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the sort of house I could see myself in.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm happy for you that you like this house. It's really good.
Do you think?
Yeah, of course.
I'd like to live here.
As the one-day swap draws to a close, there's a lot for everyone to consider. Will our mums decide to make a permanent swap? Only tomorrow will tell. Well, that's the swap day over with, and I've decided home isn't where you live, it's where they understand you. And I think Cheltenham very much understands Ralph and all of his doggy needs. But this ain't no kennel club. We're on the way to seeing if a real-life house swap is on the cards. So it's time for our negotiator, Sunita, to take centre stage. Sunita Shroff has been helping people find their dream properties and agree the best price for them for over 10 years. She'll be using her expertise to negotiate a deal for our swappers.
Negotiating can be a tricky and even emotional process, and the properties won't necessarily be valued at the same price. So it's my job to get both sides to agree on a fair and realistic price to swap. But house swapping isn't all about the money. It's about avoiding that awful chain, potentially avoiding the estate agent's fees, and of course of months of your property being on the market. So if both sides are prepared to negotiate, they could walk away with a great deal.
So let's remind ourselves of what Sunita has to bargain with. Gaynor and George have the modern detached property on the outskirts of Cheltenham, valued at £350,000. Tired of living alone in the family home, Gaynor's ready for a new start and wants a little haven of her own. Caroline and Claire have the pretty railway cottage in the Forest of Dean, valued at £275,000. They want to move closer to Cheltenham to be in easy reach of shops, restaurants and friends. So first things first, what's the feedback?
Right, so now it's Forest of Dean, which is just beautiful. What did you think?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Great.
Gorgeous kitchen, superb fireplace.
It's a nice size house.
It's a good size house. I love the detail, love the character. It's a house for me.
Can't wait to hear what you thought of the property. So tell me all the pros.
We had plenty of ideas of what we could do with the house to make it ours.
Like what? What sort of thing?
Make the kitchen and the dining room into like a bigger room.
Good idea, because it is a new build. It's only sort of 20 years old, so you could easily knock down a few walls here and there and open it all out.
Yeah, and just putting sort of our taste and mark on the house, really.
What are the cons?
Just the amount of houses around, and that everywhere look the same. So Claire was quite worried that she'd get lost easily.
No.
When you're in the bedroom, you can see other houses, whereas when I get dressed in the morning, I might see a deer walking down the road or something. So it's just
very different.
It's very different. Yeah. It's just something different to get used to. But then you've got the plus side that you are near to lots of amenities, which could be a plus side.
So with the feedback sounding positive, it's time to turn our attention to the finances.
Gaynor's property is on the market at £350,000. What do you think of that? What value do you place on their property?
Probably about 240, 250,000.
On their property?
On their property.
Really?
Yeah.
Do I look shocked?
Yeah.
Because
You're obviously thinking it should be more.
It's been valued at £350,000.
Looking in the estate agent's windows, houses that appeared to be similar, but they may not have been so well positioned, were about the £250,000 mark.
It is in a very desirable area. Yeah. You'll have to start looking in the 300s.
Yeah.
I would say 330,000 would be a fair price for that property. in my opinion, having done my research, looking at other properties.
Yeah. Without really knowing the area, if it is in the 300s, I suppose probably about 320,000.
Caroline thinks your property is worth £320,000. Right, okay. So we're starting at 320. Now, Caroline's property is on the market at £275,000. What would you value it at?
You're the money man.
Yeah, but I've never bought a house, so I don't know.
No, okay, fair enough. Doing some research about the Forest of Dean, the house has been on the market for quite a long time, and so I'd value it at 250.
If we value Caroline's property at £250,000, as you requested, and we value your property at £320,000, which Caroline requested, that would give us a spread of £70,000. So, if they wanted your property, they would have to pay you £70,000 and then you'd swap.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I need to go for 100,000 spread between both properties. It's the last move I'm going to do, so I think it's 100,000 we'd have to have as a spread.
£100,000 is actually, that's more than the original spread would have been if we'd have taken the market appraisals for both properties, which are 350,000 for yours and 275,000 for Caroline's. That spread would only have been 75,000.
Yeah.
So now you're going to a spread of 100,000. Okay. Why? Tell me.
Because Cheltenham is more desirable as an area to live in. It's more marketable. There's more buyers that will go for our particular house because it attracts more sort of people. And also, now that you think about other people having a look at our house and coming around and sampling it, I've suddenly grown to like it a lot more.
I feel that a fair spread or a fair differential would be £70,000. You feel that a fair spread would be £100,000. So I'm going to go to Caroline and Claire now and put a spread of £100,000 to them.
Yeah.
Is it still going well?
Not really. Gaynor was so passionate about this property at the beginning and loved it, and now she seems to be wavering.
I guess. Well, I mean, the bottom line is, of course, moving house, buying a new house, it's all very emotive, isn't it? Very emotional. And if you have raised a family in a property, it's hard, I guess, to say goodbye to all of that. So I'd imagine that's maybe why she's feeling a bit wobbly, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that affecting kind of the financial side of things?
Well, it is, because the spread started off at £75,000. The spread has now gone up to £100,000.
And you've got to break that to the other side, I guess.
I have indeed.
Good luck. So, Sunita has a suggested deal from Gaynor. The railway cottage plus £100,000 in exchange for her Cheltenham house. But the deal means Caroline will pay £25,000 more than the difference in the original valuations. So, how will she take it?
So I went down to Gaynor and George. They feel that to have a happy house swap, it would be swapping both properties and you paying Gaynor and George £100,000.
Yeah, that's quite a shock. I think obviously it's a little bit disappointing because I feel that at the moment our property's got so much to offer, and there is an awful lot that we would need to do to Gaynor's property to actually make it our home. She wants to stick at her guide price, yet we've got to come down on ours, which isn't really a negotiation then, is it?
She definitely did say she loves your property, but the location is very different to Cheltenham.
Yeah.
And the cul-de-sac that she lives in, properties rarely come on the market, and when they do, they're snapped up. So it's a little bit of a hot spot there, and that's why the prices are slightly more inflated.
I know that obviously Cheltenham is a more expensive area, so obviously property prices there are at a higher premium, but I do feel our house is special, so I would have actually put the properties at similar prices.
But at the end of the day, setting the valuations to one side is all about the spread and the differential. And if you feel that £100,000 as a differential, as a spread price is too much, then, you know, I will go back to her with what you think is a fair price to swap.
I still don't feel that I would go any higher than the 320.
And your property at what figure?
We would probably come down on ours to, say, the 250.
So that's a
well.
£70,000 spread.
Mm.
I agree with that.
Mm.
I agree that £70,000 would be a fair price to swap. Caroline and Claire are sticking at £70,000.
That's fair enough.
So let's go through all the boxes.
Yeah.
What boxes does it tick?
Absolute fantastic character, superb kitchen, brilliant 2 lounges, 4 bedrooms, lovely bathroom,
Fireplace.
gorgeous fireplace, superb garden.
You're saying all lots of lovely
positive
things and exactly what you said at the beginning of the day, and now it seems that it's like, ooh.
I still like their house.
And you could still have their house.
70,000.
It's taken 5 hours, but we have a final deal on the table. The cottage in the Forest of Dean plus £70,000 in exchange for the house in Cheltenham. The deal gives both our single mums the chance of a new start and a new lifestyle. But are they willing to part with what they've got and say goodbye to their family homes? It's decision time. So, Gaynor, George, Caroline and Claire, here we are assembled together. It means we're getting very near the end. We're standing here with 2 great big golden keys for a reason, not just for comedy value, because these will indicate if we've got a swap or not. Who's gonna turn the key first?
Ladies first.
Ladies first, you're a complete gentleman. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. It's a knot. That kills things dead in the water, doesn't it? All right, okay, I'm gonna speak to you about that in a second because let's just find out if we've got a green key over here. 3, 2, 1. Right, this is awful. This is absolutely awful. Does somebody want to start explaining why we've come to this conclusion? Because I thought it was all looking pretty good. I may be wrong.
We actually realised once we got to the area that we actually do need to be a little bit more rural.
What about you guys?
I think it's the process has made me appreciate where we live and what we like. So I suppose it's the comfortable stuff as well. But your house is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.
We enjoyed going to yours, and your garden's beautiful.
I tell you what, I think we all need a group hug or something here. It's all turned out lovely, but not quite right at the same time. I'm not quite sure. But thank you very much, and you both have lovely houses, and you've been lovely people. So thank you, and thank you.
We're still going to go on the process. And obviously it's given us an awful lot of pointers of what we do actually need.
It made me appreciate what we've got. And I loved looking at Caroline's house as well. It gave me some ideas for what we could do at home.
Well, there you go. I've always said that choices are the hinges of destiny. But ironically today, the choices mean their current homes are their destinies. I think it's actually quite a sweet and happy ending. But join me next time when destiny might mean we have a house swap.